Have you ever felt something powerful between you and someone, but neither of you says it out loud? Like there's a quiet tension, soft, sweet, almost invisible, yet somehow stronger than words? Welcome to Psycho Library. Today we're uncovering something subtle, almost hidden in plain sight. The kind of connection that doesn't scream love, but quietly feels like it. Because not all love is loud. Some of it hides, some of it waits, and sometimes both people are feeling it, but neither dares to reveal it. That's where it gets interesting and a little dangerous, because when real feelings stay unspoken, they don't disappear, they grow. Sign one, you both act normal, but it never feels normal. On the surface, everything looks casual. You talk, you laugh. Maybe you even tease each other. Nothing too deep, nothing too serious. But underneath, there's tension, not awkward tension. Emotional tension, the kind that makes simple moments feel heavier than they should. Psychology calls this suppressed emotional salience. It means your brain is assigning extra meaning to ordinary interactions because your feelings are trying to surface, but you're holding them back. And here's the key part. It's not just you. They feel it too. That's why eye contact lingers a second too long. Why silence feels loaded instead of empty. Why even small gestures like a simple "take care" feel unusually warm. But instead of acknowledging it, you both downplay it. You keep things safe. You stick to normal conversations. Why? Because saying something real would change everything. When two people feel something real but don't express it, they create a strange emotional loop. You both sense the connection, but because no one confirms it, doubt starts creeping in. Am I imagining this? What if I ruin it? What if they don't feel the same way? And that's where it gets heavier. Because the more you suppress it, the more your mind tries to decode every little detail. You replay conversations. You analyze their tone. You overthink their silence. Not because you're insecure, but because something real is trying to make sense of itself. Without permission. Here's the truth most people miss. When something feels consistently not normal, it usually isn't. Your brain isn't confused. It's cautious. And when both people are acting normal, but feeling something deeper, that's not coincidence. That's mutual restraint. But here's where it gets even more revealing. What happens when emotions slip through? Not in words, but in reactions you can't fully control? Because the second sign isn't about what you say. It's about what you accidentally reveal. Sign 2, you both react stronger than the situation deserves. This one is subtle, but incredibly telling. When there's hidden love between two people, their emotional reactions don't match the moment. They're amplified. A small misunderstanding feels bigger than it should. A delayed reply feels heavier than logic allows. A simple compliment lingers longer than expected. Why? Because your emotional investment is already there, even if you haven't admitted it. Psychologists link this to something called emotional leakage. It's when suppressed feelings escape, not through words, but through reactions. Imagine this. They cancel plans. Normally you'd brush it off, but this time, it sticks with you. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, persistent way. You feel it, and they do too. That's why they might over-explain, or seem slightly more concerned about your reaction than necessary. Because deep down, both of you know, this connection carries weight. Here's where it gets complicated. Neither of you openly acknowledges the emotional depth, but your reactions keep exposing it. So now you're stuck in a loop. You feel deeply, you hide it, it leaks out anyway. And over time, this creates confusion. Moments feel inconsistent. Sometimes it's light and easy. Other times it feels intense, almost overwhelming. You start questioning the dynamic. Why does this feel so real? If nothing is defined. But here's the deeper truth. Real emotional connections don't need labels to exist. They show up in reactions. In the way silence feels different. In the way absence feels noticeable. In the way presence feels calming. And when both people are reacting more than they should, it's not overreaction, it's unspoken attachment. Instead of asking, "Why am I feeling this?" ask something better. Why does this only happen with this person? Because that's where clarity begins. Not in words, but in patterns. Now here's the part most people don't expect. If both of you are hiding something real, why doesn't it just come out naturally? Why does it stay stuck? That answer might change how you see this entire connection. At this point, you might be thinking about someone specific. Someone who feels different. Not obvious, not defined, but undeniably present in your mind. And maybe now you're starting to see it more clearly. Because hidden love doesn't look like fairy tales. It looks like restraint, like subtle tension, like emotions that show up, even when you try to hide them. Call to action. If this made you pause, even for a second, hit the like button, because chances are you didn't just watch this, you felt it. And I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something like this, where both of you felt it, but no one said it? Drop your story in the comments. And if you're drawn to understanding the psychology behind human emotions, attraction and hidden connections, subscribe to Psycho Library, because the more you understand these patterns, the less confusing your emotions become. Some connections don't need to be loud to be real, and sometimes what's left unsaid is the loudest thing in the room. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.